What's up, man? Y'all know who it is. Y'all know who it be. You see the goddamn picture? It be me, that dude, and that other dude. You know what I'm talking about? Now listen, we gonna kick this off like it always is. Why you motherfuckers out here with these facts and this fiction? You hear me? See, I'm gonna go ahead and open up and let y'all know that with the story that you're about to be told is a story that was given to us, and this is the thing, you can't really be getting out here getting mad at people for doing some shit when you half-assing shit. You know what I mean? If you know you half-assing shit, something my mama used to tell me, keep your ass in the house. You feel me? Till you get that shit right. You can't be taking your dogs to dog shows and they goddamn know, they goddamn been eating motherfucking bullshit dog food and they ain't looking good and just to be bringing them out to be bringing them out. Then you bring certain things on yourself. But as far as that being said, without me letting the cat out the bag, I'm going to go and let my motherfucking co-host do his thing and let him explain to y'all what's going on. Y'all know I'll be ad-libbing. But go ahead, Chris.
Yeah. Y'all give me a second, man, and let me go ahead and share this joint up real quick. All right. So let me start by saying this. Okay, I wasn't truthful a minute ago with somebody because I had the homie reach out to him. It's just easier to go that route. You know what I mean? But we yesterday I was chilling on Facebook. You know what I mean? And I ran past a post, and the post is talking about they showed a snap test kit, for Parvo. So I was like, what's this about? And I read the comment. It was talking about a show. So, I did my little investigation work. I reached out to the man who posted the joint, RBA, and I was like, yo, tell me what's going on with the Parvo. You know what I mean? So the man started telling me the story about how he was at the show and one of his dogs got into somebody else's dog food, pedigree and raw mix, and it messed his dog's gut up. And he was at the show, and he used the dog used the bathroom at the show, and he said, that the judge there said, the dog had parvo, and a matter of fact, I got the notes right here, because this investigate right here, boy.
Like he said, sit back and take notes.
So the man said the head judge of the ABR told him that the dog had parvo, that the dog was too far gone. It was the guts coming out the dog when the dog used the bathroom. It was stinking. It had a little blood in it. So they said parvo. So at that present moment, I was like, that's kind of off, you know what I mean? Because when you go that route, you know what I mean, saying automatically that a dog got parvo, it's like, who are you to say that a dog has parvo because it has a little stool, it had a little blood in the stool and the stool stink, and me being who I am with the credentials to know a little something about animal health, I was like, there's so many other things that can happen inside of a dog to where, the dog can have a little blood in its stool and it can stink. One instance, your dog got an overabundance of worms. Your dog is going to boo-boo a little bit. It's going to have a little blood in it. It's going to be foul, because it's got worms. Coccidia, a little blood in it. Boo-boo, it's foul. Giardia, a little blood in it. It boo-boo, it's foul. You know what I mean? Dietary switch-ups, like what happened with Ragnar, but Ragnar ain't had no blood in his stool. It was just foul because I tried to put him on kibble. So there's things that can happen that can cause a little blood in the stool and make it some foul smelling boo boo. But the RBA went ahead and was telling me what happened, and I'm like, man, that's real fucked up if it went down like that. You know what I mean? And he was like, yeah, they got on a PA and they was like, we waiting for RBA to leave and, so on and so on. And he said the incident happened after the dog just got finished being measured with the wicket, right? So I was like, all right, at least you took the joint to the vet, better safe than sorry. This is stuff I'm telling him, you know what I mean? And he went to the vet. He had a parvo snap kit test done on the dog. So I'm relaying this with the council members, right? Because y'all know how we do, man. We put the info out there 100%. So I'm relaying with them. And I told the homie, I was like, find out who the head judge is of the ABR. So the homie reached out, and the man told him, he said, what's up, and the man, he was like, I'm just curious about a show that happened that somebody's dog had parvo. The man said, hit me up. So the homie hit me and was like, dog, you got to hit him. So I was like, all right. I was like, damn, I gotta tell this man I'm you and shit. So I gave the man the story. It's partial truth. The truth, the partial part is I am not Brandon G. I am Christopher Novocaine. I don't stay in South Carolina. I stay in Virginia. I told the man I'm Brandon G. He asked what part of South Carolina. I know where the homie stay, Columbia. He said, yeah, but, cool, but you came up with a Virginia number. I said, yeah, I'm down here doing some work, blase. I'm going to be 100 with y'all. That's how I got about it, to get some facts. So I'm asked the man and, about, the situation that happened. And the man said, the head judge was like, it didn't go down like that. He said, this is what happened. He said he put the wicket on the dog, and he said when he moved the wicket from the dog, he said that the dog started having projectile throw up and projectile diarrhea. So he said he looked at the man and told the man, your dog is sick, he can't be here. At that present moment, he said RBA got irate with him and started cussing him out, and he was like, ho, there's no reason to cuss me out. He said RBA left the building for 20 minutes and then came back in. And he told the man again, you cannot be here at this show. You know what I mean? And he said he gave RBA his money back for the registrations for the show, so he would have some money in his pocket when he went to the vet. Right? So long story short is I heard from RBA and then I heard from this senior judge. And the two stories aren't lining up all the way. Only thing that's really lining up is the dog was sick and he had to leave the show. The dog was sick and he had to leave the show. So look, this is going to be my thing. When it comes down to the council and the council getting information, we're going to make sure we fact check both sides. We want to hear from both sides because we want to put truth out there. You know what I mean? I commend that judge for saying, reach out to me, holler at me. I commend him for that because he was willing to speak about it. I commend him for that. And I also commend them for the simple fact the man said when the dog threw up and the dog had diarrhea, he told RBA, you got to clean this up with bleach. He said, we got to disinfect it. That was quarantined off with bleach because they didn't know what was going on with the dog. So I give them their kudos for that as well. But I don't condone stories being stretched left and right. I want to know the hard facts, leave it at the facts and let that be that. And then, as always, we're always going to go back and talk to the other person to make sure we get the facts right when it comes down to the council radio. Because we're not going to come on the council radio, start dogging somebody about what we thought they did wrong, and then sit down and look like a fool. First of all, I don't like being looked at as a fool. I ain't being looked at as a fool. It ain't happening. That's why we reached out to the senior judge, because we want both sides of the story. So long story short, nobody ever said that the dog had parvo. The judge, I'm not going to say nobody, the senior judge, the head judge of the ABR never said that the dog had parvo. He told the man, RBA, that the dog was sick and the dog had to leave the show. What's up with you, Ruben? You know, so that's what's going on with that. Now, what I wanted to talk about earlier is what I already touched on. When your dog is at a show and your dog is sick at a show, you know, I would expect as a dog owner to scoop up my dog and leave the show just to be on the safe side for everybody else. Also, on top of that, if there was anybody there at that show and screamed out Parvo and told ABR that his dog is too far gone, that the dog is going to die and maybe he can save the rest of his dogs, whoever that person is, isn't that educated on dogs in general. And I say that for this simple reason here. Like I said earlier, there are so many other little ailments that can happen to a dog to cause them to have a little blood in the stool and the stool to smell foul.
Funky.
So we have to make sure as dog people in general that we educate ourselves to the utmost so we know off top not to run to the most severe of all little ailments. Because if it's just a little diarrhea with a little blood in it, and you know, and it was foul like they both said it was, for someone to run straight to Parvo shows me they know very little about dogs.
Very little.
That's where I call these people, you are a Google doctor. You Google something. You Google. So anytime you Google something like that, it's going to come up with the most severe case. Just like if you try to play doctor with yourself, you say, you type in, I got a headache, my nose is stopped up, my throat hurt. You type that in, they going to say you got some type of disease. You know, so you're going to be like, oh my God, I got the disease. Where, you know, most common sense would tell you, damn, you got a head cold. You know, so just educate yourselves, man. Like, y'all get out there, y'all purchase some books, and y'all start looking at books and reading these books and get familiar with basic veterinarian care. That stems from worms and issues, coccidia issues, giardia issues. It even is going to touch a little bit about parvo. But let me say this as well, because we going to get on to another topic that's real quick. We don't got to go too deep into it. Let me say this as well. I was told that the man came into the show, his dogs weren't in the best condition. If you go to shows, you take your animals, make sure they are at the top physique, top condition, the best you can. It's that simple. Don't nobody want to see no tore up looking dog. That makes everybody look bad, especially if a news camera crew comes in there and the first dog that they see look horrible, that's who they're going to put the spotlight on. And that's how they're going to talk about everybody else.
I got a question for you. For you, you know, because you touched on a couple things that, you know, I enjoy doing myself. I was wondering, you know, do you have any, you know, or do you know any name of books off top hand at the top of your head that you feel people should, you know, check out?
Not off the top of my head, but let me walk over here to my downstairs shelf.
Okay.
So my downstairs shelf, I have a book called How to Afford Veterinary Care Without Mortgaging Your Kids. A great book. I have the Dog Owner's Home Veterinarian Handbook, volumes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I have another book down here that has a lot of great information about basic animal care. It's called the Pitbull Bible. And then the rest of my books are all my binders and stuff from going to school. So, I mean, those are that one series of books. If y'all can get the Dog Owner's Home Veterinarian Handbook, all series, if y'all can start to pile in all those series, you will learn a whole lot about dogs in general, not just a specific breed, but all about dogs, anatomy, reproduction, how the insides work, how the outside work, how the skin of your dog is the biggest organ in your dog. On your dog.
I got another question for you. All right.
Yep.
Say this was September 16th, and the dog came out, and you know we was you know getting the dog ready for the event, and you seen something that you know may have concerned you, as a host or a person who was throwing the show or the head person of the show, how would you react to that?
Oh, we having technical difficulties. We're gonna try to get the guys back on for a minute. We had lost signal, so guys, hold on for a minute. We were letting the guys run the show, so we're gonna let them call back in. But just to keep on going by what we was talking about, it's pretty much about how who people are throwing the show to host need to make sure that people are being real advocates about making sure that the
We still live?
All right.
All right, I apologize for that.
Speak
Ragnar is acting a... Yeah. Yeah, we here.
Back in here.
All right, my bad, y'all. Ragnar acting like a butthole. We got a older bitch in heat, and she teasing him like crazy. So this puppy, he not even trying to eat his full meals or anything. And he really trying to bully me.
Yeah, we back in. So they can. Like I said, we got to make sure when you take dogs to shows that for you to leave home, that's like a dummy check, man. You know what I mean? I don't do anything like that I used to. And before I took my dogs out, they had to pass a certain check for me. You know what I mean? I need to make sure I'm looking at poop 2 weeks in advance. I'm looking at skin 3 weeks in advance. I'm looking at eyes. I'm looking at my dogs in advance. I'm not gonna wait till said show and go throw a bunch of satin balls down their throat. Then goddamn go bathe them real good in some motherfucking mane and tail, and then try to go take them out to the show. That's not what you do. Because if your dog is sick at that point in time, guess what's weak? Their immune system. Guess what's their immune system? Their immune system is their shield. So if your dog's shield is down and you taking them amongst its own kind, guess what happens? That's a motherfucking bed for fucking germs and everything else to pass on, man. Like, people don't understand, like, these mom and pop registers gotta realize something. It's cool to throw a show, but y'all don't understand. Y'all want to base everything off of the owner of the dog. That's cool. But if you're going to throw a dog show, you got to have people looking for shit like this.
Yeah.
Especially the people that's cleaning up poop. If they cleaning up poop, they need to watch for shit like that. You know what I mean? And step the people and pull them to the side and be like, hey, and the show host needs to be identified and be like, look, these people, this dog's having issues. Somebody needs to check him out. And pop, and you can order anything else off the internet. So shit, you can order pop test. You can order pop test right there for the show. Pop the dog right quick. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And do it yourself. Y'all supposed to be dog men, right?
Yeah.
So pop, you know what I'm saying? Y'all be so quick to have a bar there. Y'all be so quick to fly in one of your little UKC judges. Why don't your asses have Parvo control instead? Why don't you actually spend money on some shit that's needed? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of scrambling and going to the venues, cleaning crew, looking for bleach.
Somebody's headphone is picking up a lot of static.
It's probably my joints, man. My fault.
Yeah,
better?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, so you know, because I noticed that back in the day, you know what I mean? Like when Suge White passed away, I was at Nationals, and I seen a couple dogs using the bathroom, and I'm looking like nobody's, cleaning it up like that, and these folks looking to the venue for the chemicals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, as a show host, you're supposed to have all that already.
Yeah. Hey, what was your question, real quick, Brandon?
I couldn't hear you. Can you repeat that?
What was your question?
Okay, so we having technical difficulties again, but like I said, man, you got to have these certain things when you are doing these dog shows, man. You can't constantly have dog shows and then dogs is dying, because you got to realize something. If it's almost like going to the club. Do y'all want to go to the club where ain't no security at? Then you got to worry about getting jumped on and felt on and everything else. So you got to have some type of immunity security for these dogs. So that's by having people check and look and make sure they see stuff like this. And don't wait till it gets in the midst of the dogs during the check-in. And
Oh, damn it, my
Okay, there
fault,
we go.
man.
I do
Them
not
damn
own the rights to
headphones,
that
man.
music. That is Kendrick Lamar. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Mic
Yeah,
check,
I
mic
can hear
check. Are
you.
we back in here?
Yeah, wait for this nigga Brandon. Hold on.
Hello. We back. We back. Hello. 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 Yeah, we. Yeah, we in there. Hello. Where my producer at,
All
man?
right, we here.
Yeah, okay. Y'all know this. Where my producer weak ass at?
Yeah. I ain't spending no more money on headsets, man.
What's wrong, man?
Man, this little sensitive touch joint. All right, no more headsets. All right, let's finish this joint out, man. What was your question, Brandon?
Oh yeah, my man. All right, yeah. But the question that I had was basically, say September 16th, we had an incident where you seen something or seen a dog that wasn't up to par, and you seen that the dog had obvious issues. How would you handle that situation, to protect, the other dogs and to, as a host, like what would you do? Like what was your timeline?
Well, if it happens at September 16th, a dog comes in, a dog boo, got a little blood in it, it's a little foul. First off, I'm not going to jump and say it's parvo. I'm going to say, look, something going on with your dog. I need you to pick your dog up. I need you to load it in the car. Then you can go back and load your stuff up. After that, I'm going to instruct them on how to get to the closest vet to have their dog checked out. And I'm going to let them know if you go to the vet clears your dog, nothing going on, you come back to the show to continue out the day and have fun, but you need to bring proof that the vet said nothing going on with your dog.
Hey,
I mean, it's that simple when it comes down to the dogs.
We need to do a sound check, man, because I think that's why everybody dropping out. I don't think anybody else. Hey, tune in. I need sound check.
I hear it. Good. We good to go. We good. We good.
All right, we good. I got sound checks. I got the other executive producer, Miss Combs, in the back.
And was basically, saying September 16th, we had an incident where you seen something or seen a dog that wasn't up to par. And,
All right. Let's carry on. Fellas.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, it's things that, it's ways you can handle situations like that. As a show host, you should know where the closest vet that is going to be open is. So you can instruct people when they had that type of issue to run to the vet to have their dogs looked at. And like I was saying, if the person go to the vet check the dog out, say nothing going on with the dog, and that everything's good and the dog's up to par, bring back proof. Thank you. Bring back proof to show the show host so you can continue out with the venue. Because I know a lot of people going to be from out of town and all that on the 16th. So, I don't want to have to say, yeah, load your dogs up and go home, because some people might have traveled, 3, 4, 10 plus hours.
But then that's another reason too, though. Not to cut you off, that we gotta reassure people that it's gonna be okay to come out. That we know that you have trained eyes that are gonna be looking for that type of situation. Because if like when we did, when I was a part of the little thing in Texas, we made sure that we looked around and we watched dogs and made sure that that the defecation was immediately picked up. You know what I mean? And then they had some type of solution to squirt down where it was at. You know what I mean? So that's the thing that they don't realize. You have to make sure when you cleaning up poop, especially foreign poop, when they call it foreign poop, that just means different dogs. You have to have some type of disinfectant right there and there to get it up to keep things under wraps. So somebody that's cleaning up poop needs to be walking around with spray bottle solution, getting it up. You know what I mean? Not just, scoop it up and wipe it up. You need to have some type of strong disinfectant, maybe Lysol or bleach, preferably. And,
Mm-hmm.
Or thieves, and and that's a natural cleaner, thieves. And if you make sure that you had this type of stuff, because if you don't have this type of stuff, that's when you have all these, Suge Whites dying and all these other dogs going to shows and getting sick because it's not properly being sanitized and it's not properly being cared for. You have all these people, these dogs cost all this money, right? These exotics costing $4,500 and $3,500. So you mean to tell me y'all can't goddamn go to Amazon and get some parvo tests?
Yeah.
The dog, y'all making all this money off the dogs, right? ABK.
I'm saying though, with the Parvo Snap kits, man, I want to say a box of Parvo Snap kits. It's like $25 to a box. It's only like $219. It's only like $219, right? And if y'all think it's that serious of an issue, I mean, damn, get the joints and then break them down to how much each individual joint costs. If you got to use that on somebody's dog, I'm quite sure. If I was at a show, somebody said my dog had parvo, you had a Snapchat kit right there, I'll pay you the $50-$60 to go in and check it out, because it only takes 10 minutes for the results to come back.
But you got to pay. You got to be a dog man for that shit, though, bro. They don't know that, man. They don't know how to got them quick stick them in his arm leg right quick, get that little drop of blood.
Yeah.
They don't know how to do that, man. See, they just want to know how to walk around in a circle and push down on their dog. You know what I mean? That's how they want to do. Y'all don't want to tune in because this shit should be getting shared up for the simple fact that we telling y'all the real. Y'all going to these shows to get recognized by people who gonna kill your dog. I'm telling you some real shit. But like, these dogs cost all this money. This is simple ass shit y'all supposed to have at shows. But y'all love to say, oh, this dude is in the building. That stud is in the building. Well, it seems like y'all need to have some parvo tests in the building. You feel me? It seems like y'all need to have some sanitizer stations in the building. It seems like y'all need to have some better judges in the building. It seems like y'all need to stop being Facebook dog men and start listening to some folks for a minute.
Yeah. I mean, the whole way, RBA explained the joint at first. You know what I mean? I'm like, that. If that's how it went down, that's real messed up. You know what I mean? If they call his name out like that over the intercom, we waiting for you to lead the show. That's real messed up. Like that fact right there, I don't know if that's fact or fiction. Ain't nobody confirmed that other than RBA. But the whole Parvo thing, the judge said he ain't never tell the man that. He said the man dog was sick. So he told the man, you can't have your dog here and it's sick. So I mean, when it comes down to it, I mean, everybody know, man, you go out to a show, have your dogs looking right, man. Have your dogs out there healthy. And that's why for September 16th, the biggest thing that I asked for is a rabies certificate. Because I know a lot of people, they probably like, dang, I ain't had no rabies done. But when you go get your rabies done, your vet or the vet that look at your dog is going to go ahead and check over your dog real quick. You know what I mean? So they're going to let you know if something else ain't right. And most people, when they go to the vet anyway, if the vet say, hey, man, let's go ahead and do a fecal check, they're going to go ahead and do it. It's just part of being a good dog owner, man. To be honest with you, it's part of being a good dog owner, knowing if your dog is not up to par to be at a venue. Hey, we got any questions, man?
See, look.
All right.
Nah, y'all know I had to do a few things, so I normally would have chimed in by now. You got to realize something. When you getting ready to go to a dog show, or if you throwing a dog show, it take more than having that judge there. It take a lot. It takes so much more to doing this shit, because the only thing y'all looking at, we all know, is kicking a dead horse, about making money. Okay, cool. But it's getting to the point, like every other show, it's some other shit, man. It's
Yeah.
some other shit. Dog down the Parvo, judge doing this, judge getting paid off. You know, and maybe fact or fiction, like the caption say. Why y'all goddamn think you making all this money out of all this drama? You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, where's the money coming from? Y'all swear y'all making all this fucking money. Y'all swear y'all making all this dough. Ain't no way in hell y'all making all this dough if y'all stand amongst all this drama. And a lot of y'all be a part of it in some type of form of fashion. May you be the instigator, the motherfucking viewer, the goddamn victim. I mean, in what I do is not drama. What I do is just actually address some shit. That's why RBA thought it was okay to come run to us. We not finna get on here and bash had it even been true. That was just some shit you came and told us. We not sitting up here trying to be the bully police. You feel me? We just letting it be known with some fuckery going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we not the bully police. The Council Radio not just for bullies. Like, we trying to get other dog men from other walks of dog life to get on here. You know what I mean? Because we see the road to bully going down, and we just gonna do our own thing with the American bully. You know, because of the simple fact that we not feeding into the hype. We don't have Magoos. We don't have Daxes. You know, no offense to nobody who ran and got Dax. And shout out. And I want to say something. I want to say something real quick.
You can hear me, bro?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, I'm making sure I got a different set of headphones on.
Hold on, we got a question. No, we got a question. Hold on. Can the blood in the stool be inconsistent, or would it happen every time the dog defecates?
It could be inconsistent. See, so the thing about blood in the stool, when you see blood in the stool, the first thing you should be thinking of off top is maybe I missed a worming somewhere and my dog's got worms. So at that present moment, you shouldn't be going to pump your dogs with wormer. You should be actually doing a fecal exam, because once you do the fecal exam, that fecal exam is going to tell you everything you want to know about what's going on with that blood in the stool. It could have been an instance to where it's just a dog ate a piece of stick and it scratched their, intestinal wall, and, they pooped and it had a little blood. Nothing. Or it could be to the point where your dog has a little coccidia going on in his gut, a little heavier than normal, because all animals got coccidia in them regardless. That's just part of your gut. You know what I mean? But when you are under the weather, that's when coccidia becomes abundant. That's when it gives it the space to actually grow. Or if your dog is under some type of stress, the coccidia will rapidly start to grow. So when you see any blood in your stool, a lot of vets are going to say, okay, wait till another stool pass to see what's going on. And if nothing's going on, you might be straight. But if you got stool and you really that concerned, the first thing your vet is going to do for you is run a fecal exam.
Does the fecal examination include a comprehensive review of all of these things?
It depends. That depends on what vet you go to. Some vets are very thorough, so they check for everything and they run your fecal matter exam for like 72 hours. They get more than one sample from you. And then you got other vets who just get a fresh sample, like they put it's like a little tiny spoon, they put it up in there and they scrape a little fecal matter out and they check that. So if that little bit of fecal matter comes out and they run labs on it, run a full series of labs on it, you never know. It might come up with multiple things or it might come up with nothing. But it really depends on your vet. If you got a good vet, your vet is going to tell you everything. Negative on this, negative on that, negative on this, negative on that. And they're going to keep it going that way. And they're going to say, your dog might have just ate a stick or something.
Okay, share this up, man. Share this up. Y'all always talk about it. Y'all like the show, then share it up. We should show it on your blog. It's not about a register. Just not about it. It's about straight dog talk. We're talking dog shit. We're educating about the dog and letting people know about this American bullying. about dog, the reason we talking about dog shows today is not necessarily talking about dog shows, but we talking about the preparation and the health that you need to be having and the level of health that you need to have before you even decide to take your dog amongst its own kind, not knowing that what you're going against, because you don't know that if your dog is, you know what I'm saying, even slightly under the weather, it's going to somebody that's actually a parvo carrier and not a sufferer, you know, and it's not a sufferer. You feel me? If it just be a carrier, and your dog is under the weather, now guess what you're gonna be suffering from? Parvo or whatever else is got your dog under the weather. Because the thing is, just like a dog can have several puppies by several males, a dog can sit several illnesses just like at one time.
Yeah. One of the things that a lot of people don't understand is when you go to these shows, it's a tea on the couch for you show. When you go to these shows, a lot of these dogs normally don't get out of they space, they home range. You know what I mean? So when you go to a show like this, the dogs are already stressing out. So when the dogs begin to stress, and some of y'all should pay attention to your dog. You walk them up into the show, they kind of hesitant to go in. You know, they stressing out. So when a dog stresses like that, that actually suppresses the immune system. And it makes your dog more susceptible to actually catch things. So that's why people say, you know, get your dogs familiar with going out amongst other dogs, going out amongst a bunch of people.
Good shit,
you know what I mean?
Joe, hey, I want to read some comment from a viewer, listener, Joe Cole. Bright red blood could be blood due to a stick, like you said. Just saying dark coffee ground red blood, you may have internal bleed. Because that's what it means when it's digested already. Yeah, he got a point. Yeah, you got a fucking point. Like I give you an instance, like probably about like a month before the puppy was born. He was straining like hell, and my old girl said, "Look at his butt." You know what I mean? And she was like, "You ain't worried?" And I'm like, "Nah," because I was like, "It's just bright red." You know, come to find out. He ended up eating a little piece of a stick. You know what I mean? Because him being, you know, up in age, because he's almost 5, it took him a minute to pass it. But when you have issues like parvo and stuff like that, especially from a certain age, you gonna know if it's parvo or not, man. Like, you can't hear you. Yeah, you got certain dogs. Yeah, you got certain dogs that you know what I mean, that you can't get at an older age. But our breed necessarily don't contract parvo past 3 or 4 years old. You know.
Yeah.
And the fact that you, regardless if they said it or not, you still need to make sure that your dogs are up the part, man, before you take them out the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Regardless. Yeah.
Because, like I tell people, like, who was that had took their dogs outside and they puppies outside before they had a shot? And I'm sitting up there trying to tell them that, you know, that damn shot the first shot is for you. You feel me? The first shot, and it's got a lot to do. We talking about the first shot has a lot to do for the dog just to survive in the surroundings that was just born in, because its original surroundings was the mom's belly and its embryonic sac, you know, and it's around enough antibodies to keep anything from happening unless the mom has some type of intestinal problems. Now, when you birth these dogs need shots at a certain age. And it needs to build up. These shots are to build up resistance. A lot of people be giving dogs shots and don't know why, so I'm going to break it down real quick. Shots are to give up the resistance to the dogs, you know, viruses that are here on this continent. Because there are certain different viruses that go on different continents, you need different shots. You know, and a lot of people don't realize, you know, you have to have a certain succession of shots to get to a certain age to where they actually build up the immunities naturally themselves.
Yeah.
Because a dog, our breed, can naturally fight parvo at a certain age, because their immune system is up to par. Because their white blood cells are strong enough. They're adults now. So now they're strong enough to be able to fight certain cases, which I say certain cases because minor cases of parvo are normally fought by adults. It would have to take a severe case of parvo to really just take an adult dog down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like he'd have the dog for an adult dog, because that's a myth. That's why we call this fact of fiction. For an adult dog to actually be brought down by parvo, it would be proven that the dog had never had a shot in his life. Like he had.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that.
Like he had never had a shot in his goddamn life. That's why I tell people, no dog that's truly vaccinated is be taken down by parvo. No dog that's actually taken care of with intestinal parasites will die from coccidia.
And not in just response to getting parvo, but prior to regular.
And you have to realize that it's care that's certainly given. Like when I told y'all I had the instance with the guy getting pissy about me using ivermectin gold. The reason I use that is because it's strong enough to where the dosage that I use is just enough for the dogs that I need.
Yeah.
And it attacks, like blot in horses is the equivalent to the parasites in dogs. It's just at a heightened level to where that's too much. To kill your dog. You know what I mean? Yes, too much can hurt a puppy, but you have to realize something. It's a quarter size to the dog. You know what I mean? So basically, a 150-pound dog would need a whole quarter size. And reason I'm telling you this, you have to realize if a dog had got into food, you feel me?
Yeah.
It's not gonna cause the dog to vomit and have projectile shit at the same time. More than likely, what that is, that's a parasite. That sound like coccidia. You feel me?
Yeah, I'm gonna say this though about that. If because he did say it was pedigree and raw mix. Now, when it comes down to raw food, if you leave your raw food out, say for 45 minutes to 2 hours, like, don't even feed that shit to your dog. You know what I mean? Because at that time, so many bacteria have started to form and get real strong to where that can get into your dog's gut and cause it a nasty issue. It can cause, a dog to vomit, projectile vomit, and have projectile diarrhea. But I can't even say that. I'm going to say this. I will hope that people have more common sense to leave raw meat out like that.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Y'all know I'm a pedigree advocate, and I know, what they use. And red dye is not the components in pedigree like that to where it will come out. Red dye is a component of Purina. Purina is a red because the nuggets that are in adult. The nuggets that are in pedigree, there's no red nuggets in pedigree. All pedigree nuggets and most of their bags are natural. I'm not gonna say natural colored, but they're more than likely colored with a different color. There's no red to it, and even the meat morsels that they're using are freeze-dried pieces of meat. So it's no red dye. Pedigree stopped using. Yeah, you have to wrap it. When you leave raw dog food out and you try to restore it, it needs to be done. It needs to be done within inside that hour. Like
it needs to be done within 15 minutes. If your dog ain't eat his raw food within 15 minutes, within 10 minutes, you can wrap it up and stick it back in the fridge. But once you pull that food out again and your dog don't touch it, it's trash. It's trash. And that's coming from me, a person who got years of experience feeding raw food. Like I play scientist with my dogs because I want to see the limits that I can go. Because I know if something happened too far with my dog, I can bring them back. Right. You know what I mean? And the limits on raw food, raw meat, when it's real raw food, like I make, you only got 10 to 15 minutes to leave that joint out. And then it needs to be wrapped up and put away. And then once you pull it out for the second time, the dog don't eat it, it's garbage. Don't try to say no raw food like that.
Yeah. And to the people that when we say raw food, we talking about like raw beef, things of that nature. We're not talking about leg quarters and things like that. You have a certain amount of time for leg quarters to be out that their dog can eat them. Bacteria don't sit the chicken like that, like people think it does. It do, but not as quick. Beef will get what the hell is that? E. coli. E. coli sets quicker than salmonella. If you
Anytime you're using organs in your raw food, anytime you got organs in your raw food, y'all got to remember organs come from the inside. So that stuff is going to break down and start to decompose a whole lot quicker than leg quarter meat.
That's why I don't see now. Look, that's why this is why the council radio is what it is. He prefers more or less organ meat. That's why he has a different muscle tone in his yard. I do more of a bone marrow. I do bone marrow versus muscle meat. So I'm always feeding leg quarters. That's a muscle meat. That's a muscle meat that has a bone to it. If I'm feeding beef, I'm feeding beef ribs because that's tendon and fat and muscle and bone. You see what I'm saying? So there's different things that I get from what I use. I feed mine are less more for a primal state. Mine get the leg quarter on top of their dog food so they can go through the whole doing it themselves. So that the body can go through its natural motion of wanting to break the food down instead of me processing it. See, once it's, come here. No, God damn it. Hold on, y'all.
Let me see if any questions in here, man. True statement, Jeffrey Sharpless. Chicken is bad if you get it in the heat too long. That is true. Jeffrey had a comment in here and said raw can mess them up in a second, depending on where you get it from more than anything. With that, it depends. Like if your dog is a kibble fed dog, and then you try to throw some raw into it, yeah, that's gonna mess your dog up real quick. But like with me, I'm a raw fed guy, so I tried to put kibble onto one of my dogs, and that kibble actually ended up tearing my dog up real quick. And it only took what, like 3 or 4 days before Ragnar had a major change in his stool. You know, but once I realized, okay, he got a major change in his stool, you know what I mean? I realized it was that kibble. So I took him off that kibble, and that next day, King Ragnar was right back to normal because his body is conditioned to eating raw food.
Exactly. Excuse me, y'all. You know, we house training and I wasn't paying attention. Pep came and bit me on my ankle. That's normally her sign to go outside, and I ain't get up. So she let me know. I bet you get up next time.
Yeah, if Larry Lovelace, you got a good comment right. That's stretching, to me, that's stretching the limit right there. You know what I mean? When you put raw food down in front of them, they're gonna gobble that raw food up within 5 minutes. So 10 minutes at the most. At 10 minutes, okay, 15 at the most. If they not eating or touching that within 15, put it away. You know what I mean? But if you leave it out longer than 15 minutes, yeah, you run a risk of contaminating your dog. How do you feel that overall probably the other breed has affected the negative stereotype that goes along with it? I mean, that question for me is kind of difficult. In my area, in my state, in my area, you know, when people think of the American Bully, they see the dogs that they Google and they be like, man, those are horrible looking dogs. But then they think of Novocaine Kennels and they think of what I do with my dogs, the way they rollerblade and stuff like that. So people in my area, they have a different perspective of the American Bully. They say the American Bully is still supposed to be able to run, jump, pull somebody on rollerblades, be outside in the heat, because that's what they see with someone inside of their community pushing, these are American bullies. And when they see some of those other dogs that people classify as bullies, like more of the bullseye and all that extra stuff, they don't really call those bullies. They pretty much call those exotics around here in my area. So that got to be a question. It depends on where you at and how the people in your area really think about the dogs. People love to bully you if anything's going on.
There's no the stereotype ain't never been affected. You know what I mean? Because you do, it's never gonna change. They just look at them like they still look at them like deformed pit bulls.
Yeah.
The stereo when the 80s came in, when the 80s 90s came in with the heavy fighting, that was a driven concrete stereotype. These dogs, when they ears crop, will always be a pit bull to these people, man. Magoo ain't nothing but a big ass pit bull to these folks. You know what I mean? They don't know and care about all that shit. They don't give a flying fuck about the dog shows. They don't care about the companion breed. They don't care about none of that. That's what we could educate and talk till we blue in the face. Till we, as dog owners, and actually keep showing them shit other than, I'm gonna say it, other than trauma tearing up shit and other than and the Hulk hitting shit. Like we got to show the working side of this breed. We got to show them what these dogs were once the face of America for. Like the pit bull was the once the face of America, man. Now all of a sudden the dog is the goddamn demon. You know what I mean? And it's tied to idiots. You know what I mean? And they try to have a face through it, which that's cool. Do you? But goddamn, don't do it the way you fucking up shit.
All right, Jeffrey got another comment. How do y'all feel that the hype BS Facebook breeder who's selling them dogs for big money to China or some bullshit hype? Is it just all BS? Yeah.
What I call them, Chris? Them Facebook dogs.
Yeah. Them Facebook breeders, them Facebook dogs. Like the whole big thing about dogs going over to China, like we had an honorable guest on not that long ago, Mr. Gary Doc Moore. You know what I mean? And he talked about how back in the day, you know, he was already, you know, shipping dogs overseas. He was overseas himself. You know, so it's nothing real special to that. You know, y'all don't ever hear me brag. I got dogs overseas. You know what I mean? But it ain't nothing but another owner. Yeah. It ain't nothing but another owner that just lives overseas that had interest in my dog. It ain't nothing special about it. Now, what aggravates me is I noticed that a lot of these BS dogs are going overseas. You know, so when they go overseas, they have other countries looking at us like, damn, they really messing up the dogs. I mean, I know some people, you know, like them little ugly dogs, but majority of people outside of the United States, they not about that. And I made a statement probably about 7 months ago. If y'all really want to know what the bullies look like, don't look in your backyard. Don't look. When I mean backyard, don't look in America. You look overseas at people that got bullies in different countries because they have what we should be having. It's a shame to me that other countries are beating out.
The German Shepherd, the German Shepherd. Go try to get a German Shepherd overseas, but they're gonna bang you across your head.
Hey, to me, it's a shame that we have a dog called the American Bully, but other countries are producing way better quality American Bullies than 90% of the United States.
Hey, but you gotta realize you got people out there that can't keep their name motherfucking deals. You got motherfuckers who can't take their dogs to shows in right conditions. Like you got all type of shit, man. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the biggest thing is if you gonna do something, you gotta make sure you got facts and not fiction, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead. And uh-oh. We up here eating meaty chunks. She's sitting up here watching the show. She's sitting the dog even sitting up here listening, saying that's some bullshit, you know?
Yeah, any other questions? RBA, you said you hit, man, you're going to have to go back and listen to the beginning of the show. I reached out to the judge, the head judge of the ABR. You know, I heard it straight from the man's mouth, man, that, you know, the story that you was telling me wasn't all the way 100. You know what I mean? I put the info out there and I put it out there and I told everybody what was fact from both ends. You know, what both of y'all said to be true. You know, and one thing that the man said is he said he never told you that the dog had parvo. He said he told you that the dog was sick and the dog couldn't be there. But we'll rap about that some more. Like I said, go back and listen to the beginning of the show when it's joint over.
That's the only thing he's going to be able to do, because with that being said, he has been added to...
Hold on, let me answer this right quick. He said, Larry Lovelace said, what do you guys think of the breeder Kwame Winston, AK Master of all Bulldogs? He's a joke. That man is a joke. I don't like that man. I can't stand that man for the simple fact that man be trying to...
Don't get personal. All right. Moving on. We don't, as I block